what happened? I just went deaf here. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Welcome to Bgst.
Yeah, hey, how we doing, man?
That's how we do it. When we say improv, we mean improv.
Go. One take live.
That's great, Z.
Swinging by Bgst. We got a lot of juicy topics today, man. A lot of juicy topics. We're gonna hop right into it. What's the first one on the list, Crap? Wait, well, listen. You want to? Did you guys see the link that I left in Twitter? The next shit before we go to the list, or you want to just?
Yeah, I had already saw that stuff, but I don't want to start the people off with fucking boring Nintendo stuff, man. That shit's bad. So Zaire, tell me something. Fans? How's your boy Colin Moriarty? I mean, I heard he blocked you on Twitter.
Yeah, what happened with that?
We ain't talking about that shit. But you guys know what happened. Well, again,
last week you were like, I'm gonna tweet him. How'd that work out?
Again. You know, I don't really post no wild shit on Twitter. I don't mind going back and forth, but I'm very respectful. And doing the show as we live, I guess one of you guys said that he was like, "Would say no, fuck that. I don't care what you guys say. I'm buying day one." Yeah, I don't know what happened prior to that, so I just read that one tweet right there. And again, so I asked him, "Hey, bro," I even called him, "Bro, I see that you're pretty excited for the Slim. What are your thoughts of, like the 4K features? What are your thoughts on that?" And no, I got the motherfucking Yoshida. I got the block. I'm like, the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Because I remember, again, like, I don't really follow their stuff. And I'm not just saying that to say it, and Mr. Kazan is true. But, just through being in parties or this shit here, people, he was very vocal about Microsoft when they things about their E3 and them confusing the customers coming out. They announced the S, and then they talking about the Scorpio next gen. The customers are going to be confused. Now here it is, Sony releasing 2 models in the same year, or whatever the case may be, and fuck that. I'm buying this shit day one. Like, what the like come on, bro. Like, I'm just saying, just be real. But it is as far as with that.
What I've been saying, Z, because we've been dealing with this shit for a long time. Here's the way I look at it. Now you've got people like Colin and Greg and these other folks, and Greg's actually keeping his mouth shut. If you watch, even when Colin was getting called out on that show, right? Greg's keeping his mouth shut because he knows.
I think you know what, Mooch? You're absolutely right. Now I watched. This is the first show that I seen. I just seen it. I never watched one of these shows before. I was looking. I didn't even know they had their own network. It's funny now. So I watched the actual
Is next gen botting for anybody else a little bit?
Yeah,
Hold on.
A little bit, yeah. It's like, I don't know, maybe your internet's you got some
granny, 150 up, 150 down.
You got some granny porn going. I don't know, but you're botting out a little bit, bro.
Hold on.
Which, by the way, I want to say, fucking, because of all that granny shit, man, people were tweeting that shit, including me in there. I don't know who else got that.
Who tweeted some granny shit?
Yeah, dude, they were trying to tweet it to you, and you blocked them, and I didn't see
it.
I
got a lot of tweets. Yeah, he must have seen some wild shit before.
I was like, man, I don't want to see no 100-year-old woman. What the fuck?
I block a lot of motherfuckers.
That's some sick shit, dude.
But, when you get disrespect, I don't mind popping shit, but, when that shit go left, get a little weird, I hit you with the Hassan chop and block your ass. But do I sound clear now?
Yeah, you're good
it sounds much better.
As I was saying, I want you to go back to what I was saying, Mooch. That was the first show that I watched. On that, funny network, the actual show about
kind of funny games,
whatever the case may be. But when I got the first show that I watched, probably it's going to be the last show. But that whole panel, we're respecting disagreement. What's his, but as far as mobile gaming and the handheld, like he's a full-fledged fanboy, like for real, like he's a Sony cocksucker, like a motherfucker. Like Jesus, that shit was thick, and even his right hand man. A lot of the dumb shit in the landed, he was just kind of quiet, not saying the motherfucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this nigga going far left. Like, yo. But, yeah, that's what I got. But, yeah, what you were saying, Mooch?
Well, no, basically, the deal is you've got someone like Colin right now who is very vocal. He's coming out with extreme hate. He was attacking that girl, Andrea, on his own show. And she's kind of a figurehead, you walk into any GameStop, she's on the TV screen. She works, she's a representative for them or whatever she's a representative for. She's always advertising different games. So she knows what she's talking about. She's been in the industry for quite some time. As Crap has informed me, she's getting married soon to somebody who's very high up in the Sony food chain.
John Drake, I believe. He's like one of the top executives or something.
Right. So, I mean, now what happens is you see this guy. Here's what he said. Let me just tell you, everybody that may have not heard what we said last week. He made a comment. She said, hey, you know, the Slim to me doesn't look so good. He goes, we need to stop with this. This is Colin Moriarty, and I'm paraphrasing. He's like, you could take a piece of cardboard, throw circuits into it. As long as you could pop a game in and play it, who gives a shit what the system looks like? That's what he said. And then she turns around. She goes, wait a minute. You sat here for 2 years, and the Sony camp said that the Xbox looked like this big block VCR from 1985, and you're making fun of how it looked. That system was playing games just fine, but you made fun of the appearance. So she goes, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. She's like, so basically, this console, you know, she didn't say this, but the console looks like shit. So she's like, you're sitting here defending it, and it's 110% damage control. And my point being, though, is with Colin just blocking you, I saw your tweet, Z. It was not hostile. It wasn't trolling. It was extremely, extremely polite. The fact that he just blocked you right off the bat without answering, this is what they are in 100. I said this about 2 weeks ago on BGST. I said the gaming media has had their feet up, not doing any work for so long because Sony was just coasting. Now, since July's NPD changed, everything, we know Microsoft's going to win August. We don't even have to think about that. So as soon as this is all said and done, the red alerts went off in the offices. People were kicked off. They kicked their legs off the desk. Someone's like, get your ass back to work. You need to figure this out. And listen, this is not all just hearsay. We'll talk about it during this episode, but there's tons and tons of articles coming out that I can't believe are in print. I actually go to the website to make sure that they're real, like Polygon saying it's okay that No Man's Sky's features don't work, or hey,
that's the best part about No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that's the best part. And then that the PS4 Slim, let's get past what looks are. Now let's get past how looks are, Polygon and Kotaku.
Same thing, dude. I was like, here's the exact thing. Looks aren't everything, and an analysis of the PS4 Slim purported ugliness. And I'm like, yeah, looks aren't everything now, huh? What about when the when the Xbox One was the VCR box and all that?
VCR. It was a square. Microsoft, you couldn't come up with nothing better than a rectangle. You sack of shit.
You know, I didn't think it was ugly to me. I don't know.
Of course it wasn't. I mean,
it wasn't. That's the thing.
It wasn't.
It looks better than the PS4 Slim for sure.
Everybody in their house, whether you have Time Warner, Comcast, DirecTV, Dish, no matter what you have, you know what you have right now? While you're listening to me speak, you're looking at your entertainment center, your cable box for whoever you're with is a rectangle. Nobody gives a shit, right? It just sits there. We've been saying that since 2013. But no. The Sony fan base was like, no, you have to have a parallelogram. Yours has to look really cool. There has to be an etch on the side. There has to be vents somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. So my whole point is, like, now all of a sudden, now that the Xbox One S comes out and basically took a lovely shit all over the existing PS4 and definitely what will be the Slim, now all of a sudden, looks don't matter. This is really just elementary. This is childish behavior. Why can't you just turn around and say, okay, we were wrong to bash Microsoft. Sony's got a shitty-looking system coming out. And don't give me this shit where they're like, well, no. Now, Mooch, listen, the PS4 Slim is going to be cheaper. Who cares if it's cheaper by $50? The other console has a 4K player, 4K upscaling,
Nobody's
HDR
talking about
gaming.
that.
Come on.
Nobody's putting the questions.
Well, we are. Hey,
well, of course, but we're just a podcast, and we're not being paid. Okay,
Right.
There are people getting paid to ask real questions. Why isn't anybody asking? Do you have HDR built in? Why is it okay for Microsoft to have fucking HDR built in? And it's a good thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage control behind that right there.
And there's no talk of bringing it to Sony. I mean, if Sony doesn't bring HDR, that's a pretty big story. That's a pretty big
HDR. They don't got
any. I mean, why isn't there a 4K player, or is there HDMI 2.0 in the Slim? Why are people asking these questions? Because they're caught in between the middle right now.
Yeah, they've got a high-end console for you if you want that stuff. It's
here's
called
the deal with Colin. Okay, he's not going to make money if it's PS. I love PS.
PS I love you or whatever.
PS I love you, and Xbox is the popular console. Okay, that's where okay, that's the bottom line. And yeah, he did come off like he's a shill, and he is pretty much. If Xbox is a popular console and they're making fun of that, guess what? PS I love you, nobody cares about it anymore. I don't know. It just draws the line of where that they have been unethical in their work, and the whole media. They're all to blame. Resolution doesn't matter. 4K doesn't matter. Fuck off.
Let me ask you a question. Well, all you guys, I don't know. You can. So with things like that, right? And we, like I said again, throughout us just doing BGST, as long as we've been doing it, whatever. There's something that we've been saying since day one about the bias, in the media. Now, of course, we've all been made fun of. You see the memes. We got tinfoil hats on, and next gen must ain't getting no grant.
I'm wearing mine right now.
Yeah, whatever the case may be. But I think I know. Things are turning around for Microsoft within not for just for the fan base, the community. Maybe it was the announcement of Scorpio, put the fear of God in them, the Xbox One S. Like I said, I had it in 50. That was just ingenious. Now I say it again. I don't think I said this on the show. It wasn't the Scorpio that scared Sony off, because again, they know what enough. They know that their console was coming out next year. And AMD probably pitched them the same. We got these chips. No, we want to come out this year. Sony, and they know that Microsoft, the technology, they were just going to come out next year. So Sony knew that the Scorpio was going to be more powerful than Neo, but they wasn't counting on them taking what was Sony was going to be, advertising for the Neo and taking that shit and putting it in a standard box. That fucked them up more than anything. So now here, your introductory console, $300, got a 4K Blu-ray, 4K upscaler. You doing it's not Neo,
new control,
and HDR, and your standard $300 box. They were not prepared for that right there, my friend. You know what I mean? They wasn't prepared for that. The Neo, all right, fine, whatever. But fucking, you're taking what we're gonna be bragging about, 4K on this box here. You put all that shit in your standard Xbox One. Microsoft finally went on the offensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, like that.
I think they caught Sony with their the pants down a little, because in the bottom line is that these systems go into development. It just doesn't happen overnight, and I don't think they didn't plan for Microsoft. I mean, I didn't even plan for Microsoft to have a slim this. Well, we knew the slim, but I don't think they planned for it to have 4K and have HDR built into it. Now the thing is that it looks like Xbox is providing a lot more, bang for your buck. And again, the media is not pointing that out. They're not doing their job. They're basically, they're kid gloves. You have, we're going to go into all the stuff, the No Man's Sky stuff. I mean, if all this shit was Xbox, they'd be fucking going crazy with the hate, okay? Xbox was hated on for 2-3 years, like it was their job, and now they don't know what the fuck to do. Scorpio's fucking flipped everyone, haters, everyone who doubted Xbox, they got flipped, and you know what? Now they're on the defensive. Now they're on the backtrack. Now that now it seems like Microsoft's doing everything right and Sony's doing everything wrong. I don't know why it always happens like that, but it just seems to go that way with these generations, or the way these things go. Like, either one guy's doing good, one guy's doing bad. It just seems like right now Sony's doing pretty shitty. I mean, I see a NeoGAF thread, and they're fucking happy about 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Like, that's something big. Like, come on. I mean, are you really that fucking far behind?
You know what, Tim, and you guys, I want you to add to this or whatever. We can only do but so much here, us within the community. You know what I mean? But again, it shouldn't be us spearheading this movement. It should be Microsoft. And the reason why I say this, people like to say Microsoft is a classy act and this, that, and the other. But listen, there's the war. And I'm not talking about literally the war, but you know what I mean. Business is not it's a dog eat dog world. It was Sony that was spearheading, the difference between 1080p and 720p. So what should happen this go around? Well, now it should be Microsoft showing the advantage. It's coming from the up top. I ain't talking because from us doing it, yeah, people will look at it, but it won't hold as much weight. Coming from the up top, showing that graph, the difference between 4K and 1080p. That's just something they should be doing, right? Right now, showing the advantages of, and stuff like that. Because it was Yoshida who tweeted that shit out.
Are you guys as confused? But here's my thing. See, I'm a little confused. Okay, I want to take everybody back. Let's just all slow down for a minute. Let's talk about this. So when I was thinking that back in the day, Microsoft versus Sony, then people were like, you have to understand something, Mooch. It's really not like that because Microsoft's such a large-scale company. They don't even know that Sony exists. They compete with Amazon. They compete with Apple. They don't really – Sony's like a tick on the back of a donkey. Nobody even gives a shit. So it's like, all right. So, after time, I'm like, that actually makes some sense. Then I sit here and I'm like, okay, we find out that Sony last minute was about – me and Crap were talking about this, about 16 months prior to the Xbox One and the PS4 coming out, that they went from the 4 gigabyte to the 8 gigabyte and they switched it to GDDR5. That's clearly a sneak attack move. Microsoft probably found out about it, but like we just found out, we're going to find out soon with Neo. They're not going to go that much drastically back to the drawing board. Microsoft upclocked their shit. Still not enough. Sony's going to try and upclock their shit. It's not going to be enough. Then you have something like this. Let's fast forward to closer to today with the Xbox One S launch. Okay, Microsoft doesn't care. Who gives a shit? They're friends, this and that. All of a sudden, Microsoft does a sneak attack where they put the 4K player in, the 4K upscaling. They work HDR into their API. They've got all this other stuff working in their favor. Boom, it's a blast to Sony's face because now you got July, August, September. October is the only question when Neo comes out in PSVR if they can maybe counter. But then November, December is all going back to Microsoft because they have the games and they got the new hardware. So what I'm trying to say here, what I still don't understand is, does the Phil Spencer camp hate, and the hate's a strong word, competitively hate the Yoshida camp? Do they dislike each other, or are they buddy-buddy? And I'm not talking about what you see on Twitter, and one guy's got his arm around him, and some, like Yoshida's drinking a milk, and Aaron Greenberg is drinking a fucking Long Island iced tea. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about, like, what is really going on here? Myself, personally, I'm going back to what Mooch said, Mooch via circa 2013. I think these guys hate the fuck out of each other. And I think that they do, listen, Microsoft on a grand scale, when you're talking about the war chest, is at war competitively with Apple and Amazon. But Phil Spencer is not at war with Amazon or Apple. He's at war with Sony. So I think that these guys, you have to stop with this peace, love, and harmony stuff that you're reading. That was a front, okay? Let's put it this way, okay? What's his name there? Clark Kent. He's a nice son of a bitch. Ain't he at the Daily Planet? He's a mean motherfucker once that cape comes out. So what I'm saying is, you've got Phil coming out, shaking hands and kissing babies, and then when he puts something out, this is his, right? This is his organic footprint. He's slapping people left and right, and this is, maybe Phil Spencer is actually savage. Maybe he does give a shit, and we just thought, don't get me wrong, I've actually spoke to Phil. Phil's actually a kind guy. He doesn't like to curse. I'm not talking about he rides a Harley and kicks old grannies over. I'm just saying, I think he's got a competitive edge to him, and he doesn't want to lose. And I think Next Gen, you heard this from your source. I don't think Microsoft is going to ever get caught in the lesser power or the lesser games category again.
I think if you're really being real, they're both competitive. Sony's very competitive with Microsoft, and Microsoft's very competitive with Sony. It's they can say, we love each other, gamers unite. But the bottom line is when they're in their own element, right. They're like, and when the news comes down that Scorpio comes out and it's going to be more powerful, they scramble. Okay, they
Absolutely.
say, what are we going to do to counter this? Are we going to be outdated? And that was, Peter Kleptic, who wrote the story, said that there was talk, are they going to look to be outdated with Neo versus Scorpio? And if it was just all love and games, why would it matter?
Exactly. All Microsoft would have done is they would have made an Xbox One S that's smaller. They would have got rid of their optical port, and we would just have the same box, right? I mean... Exactly.
It's just, at the end of the day, that's just human nature. And if we're really going to be honest with each other, that's what happens. But, they're going to be politically correct to each other on Twitter and in public. It's just, it's the nature of the beast. They both want to win. And I do think that Microsoft's put a lot of pressure on them because Microsoft's like, here, we got this. We provided this. We provided that. Okay, this is coming. We want to do this. Let's do.
There was somebody that was on, and it's funny you're saying that, Tim. I want to just add to this. Like, there was somebody on one of Zaire's podcasts, and he was like, "Why is it you guys keep emphasizing?" And Zaire had a great answer for him. He said, "Why do you keep emphasizing sales in the United States?" I don't have to even prove that the sales in the United States matter the most because Sony already proved that to you. They served us first. over their own country. And of course Japan's going to sell more PS4s than Xbox Ones. That's a given. Why did they could have just launched anything over there and they would have won. They could have yelled Yahtzee 5 minutes after they launched. They already won. Like, my point being is, so like when people like are like, why do you guys consistently say, why is it only the U.S. that you care about? Why is it that the NPD is something they talk about the NPD in Britain, in the UK? So of course U.S. sales, and Zaire's answer to him was, we're the #1 consumer in the world. You got to understand something. When people are like, we're in debt to China, yeah, but all we have to do is stop sending their little toys over here, and they're broke. Like you don't understand. So like ultimately, that's why the slogan on every restaurant or every store is the customer's always right. If a manager who's doing like exceptionally well in his area just stands up and he's like, fuck all you people, and everybody leaves, he's broke tomorrow. Like, so ultimately, we buy your shit, and we buy it in droves. In droves. Like, I told you, my whole family, right off the boat from Italy, you go over there, there's like 8 cousins of mine. I think they all sit around one TV. Before the show kicked off, Zaire's talking about putting a TV hanging right above his fucking bed because the one by his feet is too fucking far. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you gotta understand, we buy shit here. Like, we buy shit. We're the only people who have oversized homeless people. We have fat homeless people. You know what I mean? We have a country that is.
Oh, man.
Come on, man. Like, realistically, we have starving artists that are working out. We got starving artists working out in the gym because they're too heavy. My point being is just that, this is what we got to do. That's why we are. That's why we got the greatest country. We got the greatest country ever. That's just flat out the way it is. So when it comes down to it, and Tim was saying about this and that, ultimately the sales do matter, and Microsoft wants to win that back. They want to win that category back, and I think you're going to see it this year, and I don't think you're going to see it let up. I just don't think you're going to see it let up. That's me.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I know. We'll see September 7th what they announce and what they're bringing, what the Neo has to offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I said, we'll see. I guess we'll see how successful how the VR thing takes off.
I wonder if they'll have the Zen CPU for.
No, that's just not coming out until next. Well, you listen to what Phil said. He said we could have did what Sony did, but what we wanted to use the chips or whatever wasn't going to be available until 2017.
So I don't know if you guys, just a quick interjection, I don't know if you guys were reading on my Twitter today, but Mr. Z, basically there was a new AMD slide that basically talked about low profile, CPU types, and then it referenced Zen, and it said something about supercomputers. I do think that Xbox Scorpio, Mr. Z is saying that, obviously anything can happen, but it's like 75%. It's looking like this is going to be a Zen CPU on the Scorpio. And also Dean Takashi, I believe, he was the guy that was the first industry insider about Xbox. He wrote a book on Xbox, the original OG, which I actually read. He's also saying semi-custom APU Zen design. So to me, that is huge news. I mean, right now
and
it's
that's for 4K. Yes, again, made for 4K gaming, more or less.
It looks like, and we'll go into that, but I just wanted to point that out. It looks like we might be getting Zen here. So
it has to.
I don't know when people are going to start calling it real.
No, I'm just saying, but even but again, if they weren't going to use something like Zen, Vega, whatever, they could have just used what's on the market right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they said, it's not going to be relevant to next year. So, at the end of the day.
Well, so wait, now which one is the more advanced? Is it the Zen or the what is it there? The
Zen?
Vega?
Zen?
The Vega is in regards to the GPU.
Yeah. The GPU.
Vega, okay. The Vega is Eurogamer says it's not going to happen because it's too big physically.
Okay.
But besides that,
hey, but Eurogamer is also the one that said Neo would do 4K better than Scorpio.
Yeah. Well, so, whatever. I mean, take it as you want, but. The Zen is it's basically, I think it's the way Mr. Z explained, it's 8 cores and has 2 virtual cores per core, so it's really 16 virtual cores. So there's a lot more processing. They were talking about, they were touting plus 40%, per calculation. So basically, it's going to make your UI work faster. It's going to make games like VR, Xbox games work better. What I think is going to happen here is that they're going to dev the game for Xbox One, and then they're going to scale it up. Gears 4 is an example. That'll be 4K 30 title. Forza 6, 4K 60. But yeah, we're going on a rampant path. But it's very good news. It's a better CPU. Your shit's gonna work faster, basically. The way it moves around, the difference between system performance between even with the Xbox One S, which is very improved, and this thing is going to be completely night and day. I mean, this thing's going to be a fucking monster.
Listen, but this is going by what we know. What's AMD's top of the line car? Is it a 480?
Yeah, I think I think
that's
so.
Was that 5 something? 5.something?
5.5?
No, I think the base models. I think if you overclock, it's 5.5.
Version's 5.5, I think. I don't know.
No, I think the regular, whatever you want to call it, is 5, and if you overclock it, whatever the case, 5.5, and that can do 4K and stuff, and in VR. And the Scorpio again is 6 at a minimum, 6. Right. You're not talking what you're getting from the CPU. It's a minimal 6 teraflops
and
in a closed environment.
Okay, when you're considering, Mr. Z also brought this up. It's very interesting. It usually is the case that per T-flop is 50 gigabits. So Xbox is supposed to have 6 T-flops. Which adds to 300. They're touting 320, so it could be a little bit more than 6. Obviously, it could be like 6, point. 2, 3, but when people talk about like more T-flops, you have to have the bandwidth to match it. That's why when Thuwei and all these guys, Pro Elite, kind of talked about the 5.5 bullshit, overclocked, no power supply in the Neo. It never made sense because the max bandwidth is like 250 or something. So I mean, at the end of the day, Microsoft is they got it right, and we gotta have the media start to call it right, because if they're not, they're just gonna ignore it. We're just gonna keep doing this, so it's gonna go on. But at the end of the day, you gotta call it real, and it's exciting times.
Oh, it really is. I mean, what about the? We should probably get into a little bit of the No Man's Sky stuff, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, you've got a lot going on with the whole refunds and people not really understand. There's people in the comments section.
You're a thief if you get a refund.
Yeah, right.
You're a goddamn thief.
Death.
Yes. So those that don't know, the guy who used to work for Sony, whatever the fuck his name is,
who cares?
Yeah, he's the guy that basically pumped up this whole 1080p 60 and 1080p 60 or death, and you're going to be seeing this all the time, and glorious 1080p and all this stuff, right? So this guy who doesn't work for Sony anymore basically said you're a thief if you return No Man's Sky after playing it. I just think, I mean, would you expect anything different?
No, I don't. I'm not falling out of my chair. I knew all about the refunds. I saw the refunds being issued. I saw everything from all the. I didn't see his quote. Man, he was a scumbag before. He just reached he just got bronzed. I would put him right next to that Rocky statue in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
This is a scumbag.
Thing, right? Is it worth it? That's what I would ask. I would ask Sony and Hello Games. Was it worth it? Yeah, you got a big bump up front. But how many are you going to have to refund? Nobody's buying this game anymore.
Right. Right. Well, I mean,
the player base has dropped off 90%.
See, normally it depends on the game. Okay, if you're talking about a game like Sunset Overdrive or Quantum Break, especially a game like Quantum Break where there's no DLC, bang, it's like you want to make that money out the gate. A game like No Man's Sky, Sony had plans for DLC and building this game up. That big bump they got in one day, and now they're reissuing these refunds. Believe me. Once you tell gamers they can get their money back, everybody's right back in line. Whether they beat it, they didn't beat it, or they didn't even get to it yet. They're going to be like, I'm going to get my money back. So they're gonna lose everything they made. They're gonna lose and then some. So my point being here is that, and that poor guy Sean Murray, he hasn't tweeted anything out since August 18th. He's gone. He's gone. He's missing. He's gone.
It's Hello Games and Bye-Bye Games now.
It's Hello Games and Bye-Bye Sean.
He's like the guy that gets your money from like a loan modification or something. It takes your paperwork. He's
the guy locally in your city right now where it's 98 degrees. He's drinking milk and he's like, milk was a bad choice.
Hey, but what was why are they refunding? I had to reboot my shit.
Broken.
Oh, it's not going to work.
No.
Well, I think with the whole thing with that is that they promised and they didn't really explain the way the game was.
Avoid a lawsuit, a lengthy lawsuit.
There's lawsuits coming down. There's a whole website dedicated to it. There are people that are all over this. I mean, they said a lot of things, and a lot of things were misleading, and people bought into it. You know, I mean, they weren't. You talk about messaging and clear. They were, you know, confusing as hell. I mean, I just think that they were just like, hey, you can get anything on this planet, man. Anything, something come out of this world, anything can happen. And they just
if they refund
even though they didn't build it, they just fucking like geeked out, and then they promised something that it looks like they didn't deliver. A lot of people are upset.
I mean, I get that from that
I
aspect.
want it to come to Xbox. I know that you guys may hate it. I still will buy the game personally, but the game was definitely overpromised and underdelivered, and also didn't fucking work. And you know, there's a ton of shit probably released early.
It's probably the price tag.
You know how many people show them getting disconnected on and on and on and on, even after patch, on and on and on and on. Listen, it happened with Microsoft. It happened with Microsoft, Halo, MCC, and then they gave out all free shit. Let's see if they give free shit. No, he's not going to return your phone call. August 18th. Goodbye.
Tim, the coalition will be putting out the Bgst game before that shit comes to Xbox. That's not, that shit is dead on delivery. They're gone. There's no Hello Games. They're probably going to file Chapter 11. I mean, you got to understand. I understand they made their money, but with this refund, I thought everything was just going to be like everything was going to be copacetic, right? They made their money, and then they were just going to go away, and whatever. You go in the sunset is a disgrace. It's like a dishonorable discharge in the military. But my point being is now you've got now you've got a situation where they're getting refunds, lawsuits. You can't have class actions. You can't have this stuff happening and then be like, hey, what about the Xbox version? Like, that's not happening. So you
guys may know better than me. But my question is, again, if they're offering full refunds from everybody, from Steam, Amazon,
from over 2
and
hours
Sony,
played. Well, Steam originally, I'll let you say your question, but Steam originally, just to give you a little Steam was the first to say, after 2 hours play, you can return this thing. Fuck it. You're allowed. And then Sony, I guess, got pressure too, and now they're saying.
But it said no matter. They said now. Well, I read it doesn't matter how long you played the game or how far you got in the game. But what my thing is, if they're offering the consumer a refund, can they still sue?
You know what? That's a good question. But
look, class action suits are stupid. Like even if they lose, everybody's going to get like $10 or something. You know what I mean? That's how that stuff works.
They cost the Sony money with lawyer fees. No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. They probably hopped in front of the bullet.
They probably retain a bunch of lawyers all year, so I don't think it really costs them. I mean, it's not going to cost them any extra. They get sued. These companies get sued all the time for stuff. So
and even so, they've gotten off kind of easy considering everything. They're even getting shit. But if this was a Microsoft title, do you imagine what would be happening, or what would have happened back in the day when the hate was full scale?
I like to point that out. It's like, if it was a Microsoft title, yes, they would be over. I mean,
Phil Spencer went and he put the kibosh on games like Phantom Dust. He put the kibosh on what he saw Fable Legends because he's a real boss. He went over and said, "This is not a product that I'm going to give my consumer. I'm not satisfied. We're going to either revamp, we're going to restart it," which he said basically. Phantom Dust is still going to be coming out by another company, and Fable is definitely still very much alive. You're probably going to get the Fable 4 you always wanted. But my point being is, who's the guy in charge? Is it Yoshida we point the finger at? Is it Andrew House? Who do we point the finger at that looked at this game, took the copy home, played it, and then said, this is good enough to sell?
Who's the head of their gaming, like Aaron Greenberg is on our side?
I don't think
theirs?
Aaron Greenberg's that guy.
It's differently structured, you know. It's funny. I actually brought that question up. You know, it's differently structured on their side. You know, you see Xbox. They have you know, everything pretty much. They have, you know, women execs. They have, you know, from you know, they have everything. Sony just seems like it's just a bunch of freaking guys. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you know, there's no structure. There's no answers for anything. But Microsoft's under a microscope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, again, you know, so I'm not saying that Sony's a PM, but you know, I understand Sony's a former shell of themselves, but Microsoft is.
But who's their main guy? Like, who is their? I mean, Adam Boyd was identifiable, but he was treated. He got pushed to the side like he was a piece of shit. Right? Like, what happened with that?
I don't know. I don't think it was. Here's why I can't point. I'd love to point the finger at Adam Boyd, but he got laid off before this game came out, so. They would have. It's not him. It was somebody else.
I just think it was. They didn't calm him down. He basically, the fucking developer went fucking bananas and just started like saying this. And they, you know, whereas you know they had just to say, okay, say it, let's go with it, market it 100%.
You know what happened? This is what happened. Sony, their lack of them having exclusives. This was happening. Of them investing, or you know, having with the big stuff, the meat and the potatoes. I'm not talking about that $2 indie shit. I'm talking about the meat and potatoes. And you had a game that is unique, it can be unique or whatever. And probably what was my man named from Hello Games? He probably sold that motherfucker. You're gonna be able to do this, and the game is gonna be huge. You guys, he probably one of them motherfuckers sold them a brick in the box. His damn self, you know what I mean? That game's been being pushed back for for how fucking long? At the end of the day, so you know.
There was a lot of shitty things. You know what? Sony doesn't have anybody to answer to it. There's no accountability. Microsoft's accountable. I mean, that really is a difference, and that's what I talk about, this white glove treatment that happens. Like, Sony's like, okay, it's all right. You know, I mean, Sony's to blame here too, in my opinion. They marketed this product like it was, you know, exclusive, which it probably isn't, but they pushed this along, and they didn't. You know, I guess they're dealing with it now, but you know, the bottom line, it took a long time, and the thing was, if you're going to be honest, it was a disaster, the whole thing, you know. Now, I mean, it did make money, but now how much money is it recouping? Because of thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing about
it's a fucking mess now.
I mean, show, and we beat the dead horse in saying that if it was Microsoft, it would be hell to be paid.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, say Max Scoville would have got a new horse T-shirt. You know, he always wears an animal shirt on IGN. He's one of those awesome San Franciscans. And you know, like there's just like a bunch
of crying article, somebody crying. They lied
somebody
to me.
Crying.
You know, they misled me, and
it's just nonstop.
The settings after they played the game on the Xbox One, they couldn't find the settings, and you know,
and they couldn't get to their own world, and they renamed their world, and then renamed itself, and they don't want a game anymore because Microsoft lied to them.
Did you guys, Z, have you got a chance to play the Titanfall tech test yet?
No, I
heard they fucked it up.
No, I want you guys. We can talk about you here amongst each other. I told you before the onset, I'm thinking about done with the shooters, and I didn't, you know, maybe
you're done for life for shooters.
No, here, let me reword that. Maybe if it had been an exclusive, maybe the inner fanboy in me would have grabbed. This is my patriotism. I would have bought the goddamn game. But I knew, from like I said, without me hearing, I hear some people like it, some people love it, some people hate it. My only question was, again, to them, will it, you know, is it going to be dumbed down, you know, or whatever the case, because it's going to the PlayStation 4? What I mean by dumb, I'm not talking about graphically, you know, and that shit. I'm just talking about the cloud, you know, with the grunts or whatever the case. I mean,
cloud compute.
Yeah, you know, it should be what it was from there, and they should have added. Like I said, you think of Part 2, and that was more like a launch title. They have 2 years or whatever, or maybe more to work on Titanfall 2. It should be a much better experience.
You know, I'll be honest with you. Well, let me say this much, Z. I want to just not agree with you there in one way. I don't think 2 years is enough time. Listen, even the juggernaut that is Call of Duty, okay, they decided years ago to go to a three-team rotation, giving each team 3 years development, and that's a game that's a carbon copy every year. Like every year they just change a skin on a gun right? And they change, you know, they don't do anything new.
But
and
what
those
if they
things have
hired
3
more?
years.
I mean, again, this is their, you know, Titanfall was a big success with over 10 million copies, and EA is back and quite sure they could have hired 80 more people. You know,
they do have a much larger studio because
that's what I'm talking about now. Like, you know, you got your first game, it was a hit with, you know, whatever 10 million for, like, it's telling me they sold about 10 million or something like that, whatever the goddamn case may be. So, you know, you bust your cherry, you came out with a smash, and so again, the expectations are going to be high for Titanfall 2. You know what I mean? And again, if you're talking about, you know, just building on what you already had and making it better. Now, I haven't played it myself, but that's, you know, for, you know, that's the public, because I haven't got the people that were big, huge Titanfall fans. You know what I mean? So, what do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I played it at first, and right away I noticed it was slower, and they changed the map. The
what do you mean by
maps
slower? Like, what do you mean?
It's not as fast paced. They really promotes camping, and yeah, I wasn't a fan. Like Titanfall 1 had no camping. There was none of that head glitching bullshit. Titanfall 2, yeah, it was like, I mean, there was a lot of little things that they could easily fix, but I think that the flow of the maps and stuff is definitely more catering towards the Call of Duty crowd. And then you find out that they had a bunch of like PS4 Call of Duty pros and stuff come in to test out the game before anybody else. So yeah, you get the feeling that they dumbed it down and tried to make a same thing they did with Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1, the best in my opinion. Then they dumbed it down to appease everybody when it went multiplat. You know, it was really an RPG. Mass Effect 1 is a true RPG. Was doing a lot of great things. Mass Effect 2, they went for that mass appeal type thing. So that's why I wasn't as big a fan of 2 and 3. But with Titanfall 1 was like something I'd never seen before. It was fast paced and fun, and it was just amazing. And I don't think Sony players are used to a game like that. They don't have anything like that. Let's just face it. There's not a multiplayer game like that. You got a bunch of like Neanderthals basically over there, and I did a video about it today, and used the Neanderthal to hold the PS4 thing like ooga ooga, because that's basically what PS4 gamers are. You know what I mean? And so
they don't want to play Xbox gamers. It seems they bring up business. They'll be, oh well, Sony's in the lead, business. So, you know, like that they're making a paycheck off of that. You know. I mean, come on. Well, you know, what the thing that's funny to me is that they definitely seem like they'll never admit it, but they dumb down the grunts and the cloud compute, and
I don't think there is cloud compute. I think they're using servers for dedicated servers, but the grunts are now completely
they don't. Do they drop like they used to? Like I remember in the first one, they used to drop in the
few and far between.
It's far and few, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
they would drop like crazy. People would shoot at them. Then you would know the person's location, so you can't you can't camp. There was no camping in
Titanfall 1. Yeah.
And I think people, I've seen that a lot of complaint. I've seen one guy played about, he showed me he played a crazy amount of hours on Titanfall, and he hates it. Turk.
Yeah.
And he hates it. But then some people like it. But I don't know. For me. It's sad that they kind of shoehorned the cloud one out.
For the most part, the people that I'm seeing that are liking it are the people that didn't play the original.
Right.
Okay, that's well put. That's a good point.
Jamie hates it.
I mean, I've got just like I said, I'm not saying I'm in the 1,000-hour club, but I've got either just under or right around 300 hours put in the Titanfall, and it's totally a pass for me. I'll see Vince. I'll see you in the vault. I'm done, buddy.
I still play. We still play Titanfall 1, so like you can get on there and see the difference in the speed and the way you string together your wall running and all that stuff. And the Titans, you know what I mean, actually make it like the Titans don't handle as well. There's just a lot going on. What they should have done.
Either,
like this is what they should have done, because I see people complaining. Well, if you would have kept the game the same, people would complain about it too. Here's what people asked for: they wanted a campaign. Yes. They could have done that. Add the grappling hook. That's fine. You know what I mean? Add more variety, different players, more Titans. everything would have been perfectly fine. Why fuck with the core mechanic?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
you could do a lot of stuff, but why mess with the core mechanic?
And especially when you make yourself look like Call of Duty, which you're gonna lose.
Not only that, but look, check this out. I can tell you one thing that maybe not annoying a lot of other people if they haven't played it a lot, but in Titanfall 1, you started off with the ability to cloak yourself, and now I use that not so much for other people, but for the Titans, because them fuckers, they kill you in a hit. So, and when you ejected from your Titan, you automatically turned invisible, and that way they couldn't see you and shoot you and shit, right? So in this one, you don't get it unless you want to spend like $1 billion or whatever, or like level 15 or something. And so when you eject from your Titan or whatever, you're not invisible. I get shot out of the air fucking all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they've really messed up what made the game so unique. And you know, I just think that it's weird. Also, somebody mentions it in the chat. There's no third option for the weapon. Like in Titanfall 1, you had a main weapon, a sidearm, and an anti-Titan weapon. In this, you only can carry 2. So I mean, it's like you got to pick your poison, and
you
they
gotta
also
wait till you're either level 15 or like you were saying in your video today, crap. You have to wait till you have like 7,000 fucking whatever monetary value
like,
it is.
I still don't have that much.
I want a cloak. Like I want a like cloaking's part of the game, dude. You took cloaking completely out. Now I'm hearing rumors that there's no attrition, which is team deathmatch. They're not gonna have attrition.
That sucks.
I mean, what the fuck are you? What are you doing over there? Like
they got that stupid bank mode, but that's like a camp fest. People camp the bank.
You just camp the bank.
So
it's a waste. It's a fucking waste, man. And here's the thing. Stop thinking we're bashing. Like these are people. I'm actually pissed. Like you understand that now I'm gonna have to play a game where a plane lands on my fucking forehead, or a tank runs over my foot while I just had a 3 kill streak finally in 3 weeks. That Battlefield game takes forever. The learning curve.
Kill streaks, but you can get 1 kill streaks.
Exactly. There's a reason Battlefields come out like once every like forever. It's because it takes that long to learn how to play the damn thing.
Yeah. And not to go back, but about No Man's Sky, you know there's a problem in the game when you've seen a decline of 81% in week 2. I'm reading that in the notes. I mean, and the drop off that they showed on Steam was pretty alarming. So, you know. There definitely was a problem.
I have a question for you before we move up from this No Man's Sky. Now, is it still counted as a sale if the game is refunded if you get the game?
I don't think so. I think your sale goes back. You have to pay back.
Well, I'm not talking. Oh, I'm just talking about like maybe.
Like I said, does it negate it? It might. I mean, how do you recoup that? There's not that money's.
I think
somewhere.
once it's locked down as a sale, it's a sale though. Like I mean. I think that's how it works.
From a money perspective, you lose out. But you're probably right. Maybe, I mean, just a strange game.
Hey, the NPD thing is kind of fucked up now anyway. Like how they do it.
Yeah.
Like the hardware, like because Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo aren't part of the digital thing. They don't report their digital sales. So none of the games that we actually care about as I guess fanboys or whatever, we'll never know. Because they're still not going to announce those digital sales. So, and it really hurts a game like, say, Recore, because that's not going to show up in the top 10 at all.
Right, because of the price.
Yeah. Because it's going to sell digital. Like, why wouldn't somebody buy a $40 game digital? I'm sure that's probably what most people are going to do. Right. So
there's no physical release for Recore.
There is, but they're really pushing the digital stuff with that. It's it's a $40 game. Some people are going to look at that as like a AA or something, and probably just buy it digitally, and it's got that cross-buy deal or whatever. So play anywhere or whatever. So
well, I mean, it's a $40 play anywhere title that's pretty good quality. It looks like a AA. I would classify it as a AA, but it's a nice game. I mean, I think that onto the subject of Recore, people say why there's no advertising. I do think that Microsoft's betting on this game to review well, to have good word of mouth, and to people like us, and to actually listen. I played the game. I played a level. It's challenging. It looks like it could have a good story. The graphics are not, they're not AAA level, but they're pretty good. Like,
but they look much better from what you played it at E3. Like the Gamescom trailer looked like they increased the graphical fidelity.
Well, that one where she's outside, it looks like it could be some open world elements. So, I mean, that game, I would say, just before everyone go crazy, just wait and see how it reviews. I think it's going to review well, and I think the price point is a good price, and it's not going to show up.
I would just like them to get a game that goes into their stable of games that gets regular attention and releases and things like that. We haven't really had that from Microsoft this gen. Like Halo was the first one, Gears the second generation. Right. What's the third generation one that's really like that one that's going to be in their stable of games? Like for me, and I'm not going to say that they should do billion-dollar advertisements or anything like that, because I think, like Rand said, that if they sell 200,000 copies of this game, that's going to probably be a success for the game. Because
well, they have expectations. It's like that whole thing with Quantum Break. Aaron insists that it beat expectations, but then I asked, which I didn't really get an answer, but what are your expectations? It's always what your expectations are.
Yeah.
I don't think their expectations, and this ties into the marketing, is that high. Like maybe Rand is right. It's around 200 to 300,000. They'd be happy. Now Gears.
I think Gears has like
Gears
a 5
has
million
a fucking
expectation or something.
They now listen. That game, the way it's coming along, I don't think it's going to overtake Halo, but it's gonna, if it gets even in the stratosphere or comes close to it. Halo 5 gross. They had 5 million in like 3 months of time. 5 million, I think. Frankie O'Connor. That's a lot of.
There's a lot more Xbox Ones out a year later as well. So you would think that and that game will push some games.
Could be strong.
I think it's gonna do. I think it's gonna do very well. Like people, I'm surprised that so many people are like, I'm gonna get that game for the single player. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's always more of a multiplayer game. But
single player.
The single player is great too. But
did you see the one execution where he shoots him with the barrel gun and the body spins?
Yeah.
And oh my.
I'll play the single player first, and then I'm gonna, you guys know me, I'm a big multiplayer guy. I'll be in the multiplayer racking shit up. So I mean, that's what I look. They've got
high level skill for that game too.
It is. That's why it takes a while. You get your teeth kicked in a lot in that game, and then when you get it, you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like one day you'll just be playing, getting your ass kicked, and you'll be like, oh, you gotta like put the Nasher a little bit to the left, and then you get the kill. I gotcha. Or you gotta really stick together with your teammates, or you gotta really rush the power weapons and communicate. It's like you get it, and then you really start to have fun with that game. But the problem is, a lot of people are like the casuals and stuff, or the people that don't want to invest the time. Or here's another thing: if you start playing Gears and you get good at it, and then you go away from it and come back, you're gonna get smacked around.
Yeah, but you know what though, crap. Listen, the Coalition took care of that. They have a game mode for you. It's called Horde. Like Horde mode is good for the casuals.
I think Horde's gonna be big too.
Horde's gonna be huge.
I think it's
I'm
gonna be
looking
big.
forward to it. I think that's gonna be fun. Like that's a game mode that like all of us could play. You know what I mean? Like just fun. So
not as serious because the other one you have to be like you said. You have to be in tune. You all have to be fucking. In it. That's why I love the groups. I love the groups. I love the groups. I love the group selection that Xbox is putting in, where maybe there might be a group called Shit Gears Players. That's where I'd be, because you know what? I'd like to play where it's not against fucking these.
We can play amongst ourselves. It's enough of us.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the game looks fucking. It's looking like it's really coming along. Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a hit.
IGN has the rights to the first shot, and I'll tell you, I hate to go to IGN, but when I see that come up in my timeline on Twitter, I have to click it, man. That one where they showed that farm background, which is basically like Marcus's old home before the invasion. That shit looks so good. I mean, the work and the detail that Rod and his people are putting into is insane.
Now, here's my question, is this the Xbox version that we're seeing, or is it the?
Yeah, it's always the Xbox version. They're not sure.
They keep reiterating it's the Xbox.
It's
people
the Xbox
no.
All right.
I mean, they did have one 4K. They did have one 4K footage but they specifically said it was 4K, so you knew it was PC.
Yeah.
But pretty much everything you're seeing, and like I said, I saw this game side by side with the fucking 4K monster computer on a 65-inch screen, and it was Xbox One S, and it was a HDR. Okay, and then the 4K was a 4K HDR that was on a PC. And let me tell you, fucking Gears on Xbox One S looks and holds up. It is a looker. It is impressive. You know, I know we don't all have HDR TVs, but you know, it really, you know, if you have an HDR, it really accentuates that. Like you see the way it looks. Like you see the HDR, and it looks beautiful. I mean, so Gears is gonna be a beast.
It doesn't even look. It doesn't just look beautiful. Shout out to Jamie Moran who just tweeted out Gears of War 4. The orchestra and the music that went into it is now you have the composer that does the music for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And some others that are doing all of the music pieces for in between.
Yes.
I mean, that's anyone that's
quality.
listening in the chat that's just doesn't get it yet. That's called Microsoft money. And that's why, you know, man, you just get the best quality all the time, most of the time. Yeah, I mean, not everything's a home run out the park.
Yeah.
But that, you know, I mean, the music and the time they put into Halo, the music and the time they put into Gears. I mean, the cinematographic and the Hollywood production of Quantum Break. Where's Sony with this stuff? What is Sony? A 5-hour, beautiful, cartoony version of The Order? Like, great, that's the best thing you have to show. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing that comes close to the production value.
You guys see the screenshots of the old Marcus Phoenix compared to the new one?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, Lord! You know what I mean? Besides looking older, but the level of detail, damn.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a generational leap, so I mean, obviously, it's gonna look.
I'm saying, like,
better. Yeah, they did a good job.
Like, huge, like, you know what I mean?
They said it was going to be the graphical powerhouse. They were really going to show off what the Xbox One could do. So, and not only that, the stuff that you see on IGN, they're capping that with a regular Xbox One, not even the S. So that's just like the regular Xbox One. I mean, they've really been putting in time on this game, and I mean, just as developers, let's be honest. You know how we're all like, well, people are like 343 ruined Halo, and then you realize that there's like 15, 20 people from Bungie working there. You know, the coalition is the same way. There's so many, including Rod Ferguson, who was like one of the main people with Cliffy B working. The guy loves Gears, bleeds Gears. You know what I'm saying? He's not a little douchebag like Cliffy B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, he drinks douchebag drinks, but you know.
Cliffy burnt the fuck out. He always got some crazy shit to say. He tell he's not a fan of the Xbox Scorpio. He's not a fan of shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, he does his shock jock type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, he's always fucking, you know what I mean? Microsoft hand you a check for this, but you'd be a fan of it, didn't you, motherfucker? Get the fuck out of here. But what, damn, did we tag with anything from your list, crap?
Yeah, I'm going right.
We're not done. There's lots of stuff.
We shoot off the top of the head. I didn't know. I'm
looking at the car. I got
a question for Tim Dog. Tim Dog was saying if No Man's Sky came to Xbox One, here's a question for you, Tim Dog. Are you going to buy Jonathan Blow's The Witness when it comes next month?
I see that. Well, hate to say, listen, I know, and I've said this, and I know people notice this. I'm a forgiving person. You know, I don't hold grudges, and in this case, I understand why people don't like the guy, and I don't understand why, you know, people think he's an asshole, because he probably is an asshole. He seems like a real asshole. And as in the comments, fuck this asshole is in parentheses.
Well, a lot of people don't know. Me and him went at it on Twitter years ago.
I went at it with him too.
Yeah.
But what happened with you and him?
Okay, well, it was after Microsoft's reveal or whatever, and he goes on and he goes, I'll never do a game for Microsoft. They threatened me. They said they ruined my life and this, and he's like cloud compute, that's all bullshit.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
They don't have no 300,000 dedicated servers. They probably got this. It's impossible. They can't do it. They're lying. You know what I mean? He went back and forth. I'm like, and I messaged him. I'm like, dude, you're a developer saying that none of this stuff is possible. right? And he's just like, it's not possible. And like people actually took him back and forth on Twitter and did like there was some articles about it. You know what I mean? And he looked like a total asshat, of course. But I just thought it was funny because this guy who hates Xbox and Microsoft tried to ruin his life and all this shit. Now after his game was pirated 95% on the PC. Now he's putting his game on Xbox One.
When he talk bullshit, well,
this game is just that Panoma game or whatever, Breath of Life or whatever, and they're trying to sell that shit to you for $40.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, someone correct me. I believe IGN gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, remember everybody's like another perfect PS4 game.
Yeah, I don't think they would be exclusive.
Yeah, like everybody.
They made like $20. Yeah, way to go.
That's $40 too much fucking money.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get it for 40. I'll get it because it's one of those games where I like to play with, to get achievements, I guess.
Fucking hate those kind of games, man. And even if they put that shit on
sick of those games, though. I am getting sick of those games.
Even if they put that game on Games with Gold, I wouldn't download that shit. Screw you, Jonathan Blow.
Oh shit! Even for easy achievement score, game score.
I don't care. I wouldn't play that shit, man. I don't like. I'm not a big puzzle guy.
No, I don't mind the puzzles when they come in the form of a different type of game, but a game like that where you just walk, it's linear, and then you come up across the puzzle, and then after you beat it, you just walk linear again. Like that's just I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It gives you motion sickness, according to PlayStation users.
Gives you motion stuff. But fuck him.
Yeah, I'm not getting that shit at all, man. Like that, to me, that guy is just, I don't know, like just the things that he does is fucking retarded. So yeah, I'm not really a fan.
You think Sony?
Well, so who will get it? I will honestly probably get it because I know the guy's a douche.
My thing's not even against him. Usually you would hear me say that. It's not even that. The game doesn't interest me.
Yeah, it's
me either.
Me either. It's just like
worth the $40.
Yeah, $40.
I'm a man of very little means.
Dude, it's like you can get this indie fucking puzzle game for $40, or you get Recore. I mean,
listen,
come on.
What did I say? 2 years ago when I noticed, or maybe before then, that the indies of this generation, just my opinion, and I'm not even that picky of a guy. I'm not one that's always complaining about shit, nitpicking. But the shit we got last generation on the 360 or whatever, we got them every Wednesday, or we call them arcade titles or whatever. They're $5-10. And they took advantage of the console's hardware, which is the 360. They looked good, put $5-10. This generation, we're getting goddamn games that they can run on a fucking Casio fucking calculator watch for fucking $30-40 fucking dollars. Yeah. Like, what the fuck am I missing? Is the fixing? Nah, fuck that, man.
Yeah.
I literally bought maybe 2 indie digital titles this year.
Well, speaking of not being able to figure out money, Z, I mean, everybody's got to realize that if you didn't go stack up on your PS Plus, that shit went up $10 and $20 in Canada.
Yep, and not only that, if you order, dude, did you see this, Mooch? All right, so it's $60 for the year here, but it's $25 for 3 months now. $25. So if you're one of the people that buy this shit 3 months at a time, you're paying $100 a year for that shit.
Why do you people defend Sony? I just don't get it. You got no games, you got nothing. There's nothing coming.
And they're just like and Sony just comes out and said today, they're like we're gonna, it's still the 2 games per thing, and it's still gonna be the same type of games. So they're not going to increase.
Yeah, I mean, you've been getting Tumblestone type of games, and that's it. I mean, you're not getting anything good. Maybe I mean, just it's laughable to see the people still defending them day in and day out.
Believe it or not, though, I've seen some, because again, you said Sony done some of the cheapest motherfuckers in the world.
Yeah.
But I've seen a few people being, raising some issues about it, and this. Again, I don't really care about those indie games. But the meat and the potatoes, I think that everyone needs to address is that, again, we're paying for a premium service that still behaves and performs like a free fucking service. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm still paying you, and I'm not saying that Xbox Live doesn't have any issues. I'm not even saying that. But here it is, though. When you have a schedule before maintenance, I can't get online. I can't play my shit. You know what I mean? Like that stuff there has to be better. You know what I mean? When my shit goes out, or whatever, the PlayStation 3 and the PS4 shit goes out, you know what I mean? Being that I'm paying, like my shit should be the only one working, and let their shit be out. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sony needs to, again, invest that into their fucking infrastructure and make that
take two seconds like Microsoft did at E3 and go, we're adding even more servers for a better network.
No, that's never talked about. Hashtag better PSN. I mean, listen, again, it's the same thing that we go over and over. There's two different sets of standards, and that's perpetrated by the fucking stupid media, places like NeoGAF that feed the media, and just the overall, perception about things that's put out there to to either get casuals to say this is the most popular. But when you're talking about a standpoint of what's being done, Xbox has cloud compute. Xbox is coming out with a game that's going to do calculations of freaking blowing up a building in the cloud. It's going to happen. Sony does not have that. I don't even think Sony's going to have an HDR game in 2016. Okay, Xbox is going to have 2. There's going to have to be a time where we say, all right, let's call it the right way. Well, let's call it even. We're on the same playing field. But the treatment of just letting everything go by and needs to stop. People need to. I mean, and I do see people start calling them out. But when you have a better PSN hashtag and then you're raising $10, you have a little bit of nerve.
Yeah, a lot of people fucking damage control that shit though. Like some dude was coming at me on Twitter, and I was like, I'll humor this guy for a little bit. And so he's like, well, what does Xbox even have? I think I did a video about how Sony is finally getting some shit from some media outlets for being, unethical and shit. And so I'm listening to stuff. I'm like, they're saying no to cross-network play. Right. Microsoft has already said yes. Sony just raised PSN Plus. If they raise PSN Plus and they don't even fucking have a way for you to change your name yet, and they damage control that, they're like, who wants to change your name anyway? I'm like, bitch, are you fucking serious? Come on, that shit sounds so ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, really, come on.
What if your name was D Baby? You know what I mean?
Exactly. You'd be stuck with that name.
There is some pressure on them sometimes, and I think, but they're just so much slower to the fact, to the hit. They just got second step authentication after
2016.
2016. That is, and then those are where you hear these horror stories of saying I've been hacked and then they say, well, fuck you, pay your $600 or you can't have your name back, and then it gets a lot of play, and then an MVP gets involved, and then it gets squashed. I mean, that was happening on a weekly basis before, the second step authentication. I mean, I think it's implemented now. They finally got folders. The thing is that when you don't focus on your own system and everyone's focusing on one system, one's outpacing the other, and that's a prime example of what you're seeing, and that includes Xbox Live putting their money and putting it back into the infrastructure, making backwards compatibility a feature.
Oh, but Sony said nobody wants backwards compatibility.
Yeah, PSN Now, though, which is on PC right now, which
that's another topic, too.
Another topic that we can transition to or whatever.
Okay, but there's now, are Sony losing their exclusives?
Well, the damage control currently next gen is just because Sony's allowing the DualShock 4 on PC and PlayStation Now doesn't mean they're gonna allow PlayStation 4 games. And I'm like, if that was the case, why allow DualShock 4 on there? You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Like PlayStation, like PC gamers can play the multiplats of last gen and shit. They just pirate that shit already on PC, right? Or get it on Steam for $1.50. Right, so the only chance that Sony has of marketing this shit to PC gamers is by giving them exclusives and shit, and not just like PS3 stuff. You'd be foolish to think that they're not going to start putting PS4 stuff on there as well.
Down the line, they put a lot of money into it.
That's their only. That's their only way of pretty much right now.
We actually talked about this the other day on the Multiplayer podcast, and shout out to UB. He brought up a good point. Porter Rock, a.k.a. Barney Rubble 77, old school, he was like, Sony's all about the hardware, this, that, and the other. And I said, again, what has their guiding them? Just talking about far as software, like, because, again, you had Nintendo, you don't give a fuck about Nintendo. Release one game on mobile with the Pokemon, and that, I don't get before how many days, whatever the case, it made them work more than goddamn Sony. You don't think Sony's sitting back in this fucking boardroom fucking, what could we do to make more money? If they all about the hardware stuff, they took one of their premier features of fucking PlayStation Now and gave it to their biggest rival, which is fucking Samsung. You have a big, let me tell you something, a bunch of, just say 100 million PC people that don't give a fuck about a console. They don't want to pay for online. Whatever their issue is. Yeah, your games may look cute or good, but I don't want to fucking buy that shitty hardware. If you're opening up the door for so many people to have access to your software by allowing them to play or stream, whatever, Uncharted 4, whatever, cool. The same thing with Microsoft and Windows and Xbox Live, because here it is, the Windows part of it. They don't have to pay for online, but we do. So they may not put the PlayStation 4 exclusives in PS now for the console people, but there's a different market and demographic as far as PC is not the same. So you may have like PC guys ain't got to pay online on Xbox Live, but we do. It's a different business, market or whatever the fuck the case. They're gonna have fucking PS4 games. So I mean, come on, if you want $20 a month, they better. Like, come on, man. Like, this is a fucking no-brainer. If that's, and even like you said, crap, why give them the DualShock 4? They don't need it.
Exactly. The funny thing is like when you buy like some of that shit to stream PlayStation Now and like the Samsung TVs and stuff, that they give you the PS3 controller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to do the PS4 controller.
The game
exclusives of God.
Yeah. Well, look.
And the consoles. It's over.
Yeah. So yeah, I think.
Good night, Irene. It's over.
I mean,
but they'll continue to change it. You know what I mean?
Listen, I like my game with lag. All right, I like to play it with over lag. I like a latency lag on it.
Yeah.
Beams probably has a better latency than fucking PSN now. I mean, I don't know. Listen. You look at all that stuff, it's so hypocritical. I mean, we look at this whole show, we just draw the comparisons. It really is a sight to behold. I mean, there was so much stuff brought up about how Xbox was, end of the console, even though they were launching 2 consoles. And, they're moving out of the business, or it's confusing.
Hey, not only are they launching 2 consoles, but Phil already confirmed they're working on the successor to Scorpio.
Exactly.
And they purchased Havoc Engine, they own Minecraft.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They just keep going.
But they're expected to leave the market any second now. I see Pete Dodd right in the article. Come on.
You know what it is? It's like, and then all the shit comes back and it fucking throws a big fucking egg on media's face because of the way they acted.
Yes.
And they don't really report it. They act like sheepishly about it.
Yep.
But it's just great. It's just great to see about all their arguments or their things that they were right. It just came back and cracked an egg over their face. I mean, you talk about confusing 2 consoles in a span of a month. It looks like one doesn't do 4K, the other one does. Why would you stick out for? Why would you buy a PlayStation 4? It has no 4K, and you see none of that shit.
Nope.
I mean, the fact is that.
Tim, there's the Slim, there's the PSVR, there's the Neo.
Yeah,
all this shit's coming out.
But no, it's not confusing. But Xbox, holy shit, they fucking blow you fucking. You know what it is? It's like when a kid is having an argument or whatever, and then somebody just comes up with something and they don't know what to say. That's what the media. Media is like that's what the media.
Because.
Fuck you! The console could be a piece of shit. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if it's a piece of cardboard, right? Who cares, right, Greg?
Right.
Could be a piece of shit under my console. I know. Does it play the games?
Yeah. Play the goddamn games, Greg. Just answer me.
Renee, shut up! I got a show.
They're like,
I love you.
She's never coming back on that show again.
What are you talking about?
Hey, you know what? Here's the funny thing, right? Nobody's talking about the Slim or how it lacks support for HDR or any of that stuff. But like one of the top things on N4G is report PS4 Slim appears to support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi.
I know.
Like,
2013.
Yes, 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi.
Fucking
folks.
beast.
I mean, that's really great. I don't know, cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. You had Colin Moriarty saying
they don't even know if it's AC too.
I know.
It could be just yen.
Yes.
They'll be like, Xbox One S is AC. So that's another thing. Will they look into that? If it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. It only matters if it has AC. It's like fuck yeah, Slim, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like nah.
No. Colin's like, look, I bet they use less plastic. They use less plastic for the PS4.
Yeah,
Slim.
Colin Moriarty's a plastic engineer now. He knows what's going for.
Let's take the optical port out. Fuck the gamer,
Yeah, so we're talking about. So they're not cutting. I mean, $300 here. They're not counting that shit by $100. Like, come on.
Some article said it was $280 to make, or speculation. It was an article.
Whatever the fuck. They're not cutting that motherfucking down.
It's not gonna be $249. I don't think.
No, hell no.
If it's not, that's an epic fail, man. Xbox One S kicks its ass.
Well, people call it. Everyone's in that moment. They're like, what's gonna happen next? Okay, I gotta figure out what I gotta like and not.
Yeah, Sony's in trouble, man. The company as a whole is in trouble. They're selling everything off just so they can make do here. They can't just cut themselves short on every. I love Sony fans. They'll just cut it, man. They've been making money forever. Forever since what, 2014? Are you looking at the financial reports? Microsoft is making 22 to 24 billion a quarter. A quarter. These guys are fucking. They have like parentheses with a minus. That's bad. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. Maybe on a podcast we should just do a live screen and just fucking have a fucking dry erase board up and show people what a plus and a minus looks like.
That would probably help.
We're exposing a lot. What's the next subject? Let's see.
Albert Pinello.
Albert Pinello. Oh, that's not true. 4K can't happen on that.
That can't happen.
Well, no, you know how like all those places were all like. They were all like, "There's no way that the Scorpio." We're highly dubious of Xbox's boast that Scorpio will hit 4K native gaming. And then you see places like, Eurogamer. They're like, "Yeah, the Neo is going to be great. It's going to be that 4K gaming machine." In fact, I get this one dude. I can't tell if he's a frenemy, an enemy, or whatever. But he's like, "Yeah." He's like Neo and Scorpio, the two first 4K machines. And I keep telling him, like, bro, look, Neo's not a 4K machine. Okay, it's not. No. It's as 4K as the Xbox One S, as in upscales to 4K. I don't even know if it has a fucking 4K Blu-ray or HDR. We don't know. The fucking documents don't say shit about those things, so I don't know.
I don't think HDR though. I mean, it's just the reason why I say that again, and it can happen. I'm saying it can maybe happen in a future date because they just have to invest into the API. But as far as they've been talking about that for us on Microsoft for at least about 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. I just thought that they was going to come with an update for the regular Xbox One, not about any Scorpio or fucking Xbox One S, when they were talking about more or less, HDR, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. So, I'm not saying that Sony can have it. It will have it for movies, though. I think they have a 4K. But as far as gaming, that has to be, into the API. And I don't know.
I seen an HDR movie at the store, like playing on one of those things, and there's a difference because you see them next to the regular 4K ones. Yeah, it's like a huge difference. Like I would hope that they incorporate HDR into every game possible. I don't even know if it takes anything much, for them to do it.
Oh, well, just talking about far as third party. If they're going to use Windows 10 and DirectX 12 with multiplats or whatever, I mean, yeah, it's like a no-brainer. But especially in Bang Bang, shout out to the weirdos in Bang Bang. All these fucking threads about HDR is a gimmick. It's not that big of a fucking deal.
I seen somebody in Bang Bang. They're like, I got my 4K HDR TV ready for the Neo or the Slim or something like that.
But again, you're going from 1 million colors to over a fucking billion colors. Like it's like comparing a 1080p Blu-ray to a fucking 4K Blu-ray. It's obvious, like at the end of the day. But it's well, if your television has HDR, then the game has HDR. You get what the fuck is wrong with you people? I'm like, yo, God.
Told what to like and what not to like, what's good, what's not good. It just depends on if it's in the system. That's what it really comes down to. It's just a pissy match with people, and that's just a pissy match when you have a BMW and you have a fucking Mercedes, and people say, well, BMW was made in this part of Germany, and it's whatever. It's just people just want to have fucking something over the other, and I just think that they don't know people just on the Sony end just don't know where to go at this point because they can't be honest with themselves and ask for HDR. It's good, man. I mean, if that was my console, I'd be like, yo, we gotta get some HDR. Like, I gotta tweet.
Oh no, hey, guys, I'm a PS4 fan. And we don't even need HDR. We don't need 4.
That's great.
We don't need that stuff. We want a cheap console, and
keep the cost down.
Give me a piece of shit cardboard.
No, it's gonna be cheap. That's what we need, an entry console that we can play our PS4 games with. That's how we
fucking drive.
That's a great.
That was a great impression. That was spot on.
Who is that? We gotta give that guy.
That's Boogie doing Francis. That's Crap doing Boogie doing Francis.
Yeah, but, again, even the fucking. Crap. I mean, that's like even them cutting. Of all people, Sony with technology and fucking receivers and all that shit.
Yeah.
TV. Them cutting the fucking optical point, but what if I can run the TV to my sound? Okay, well, cool. What if you have a fucking Astro fucking $300 headphones? How the fuck am I using my headset on my console?
They're expecting every TV to have an optical out. I mean,
but what about your headphones?
I mean, yeah, I agree. But you could go from your TV HDMI to your TV that has optical out. But the thing is that there's people with not optical outs. I mean, anytime you take out a thing like that, you're fucking people over, especially with amps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They definitely, that was a curious move. I think the Neo will have some stuff that's a little unique and might have a little
optical drive.
But you're talking about being compared to fucking Xbox, where it's just really is night and day. If these rumored specs, the document specs aren't changed and they go ahead with this plan, I don't know how long it's going to last, but people are going to realize that Scorpio is far more capable.
Well, you know what it's going to tell, and the most important part is in the multiplats. And all I'm saying is this, and just to be fair, and it's had nothing to do with a console war. No parity. Remember that shit there, right?
Yeah, no parity.
Again, if Lowe's
that was started by them.
That was all. Hey, Boogie was on that shit too, man. No parity.
Hashtag no parity.
Yeah. Hey, man, I would love no parity with the fucking Titanfall shit, man. Let them run that shit on there.
No, that's a real no parity issue, but we won't hear that. We won't.
Yeah. But again, the multiplats is where it's going to shine. Of course, the exclusives are going to be fucking brilliant. It's going to be fucking gorgeous. But again, the multiplats, which we get several times a month, they have to look head and shoulders above, which they should. You're going from 36 CUs to 60 CUs. Fuck all everything else. Like that's a lot of fucking juice there. The game should look much better.
There's a lot of grunt.
Yeah, that's
not enough grunt though.
Well, you got to give credit to Red Dragon. He said it best. He's like, when you used to get dropped out of the plane, you're going into war. He's like, you felt like you were already late to the war. There was shit flying, people dying, explosions the minute your feet hit the ground. And in this one, he's like, you jump out of the plane and it's just like nothing's happening. It's like Call of Duty. You got to run to the middle of the map to find somebody. It's just, to be honest with you, Titanfall. Forget all the jokes and everything. The fun factor is out. They lost it when they took everything out.
You know how it reminds me of Call of Duty now too, because you got motherfuckers sniping all over the place now.
Yeah.
Right. I don't remember getting sniped at all in Titanfall 1. Now you got bitches head glitching and sniping like as soon as you spawn in and spawn.
They changed the guns.
It's like you said. It sounds like they changed the core mechanic of the game.
Yeah.
The game was a different game. And I mean, some people like it. I don't. I'm gonna get it because I like.
I'll probably end up getting it too, but I don't. But it went from being like, yeah, I'm really excited to.
The game needs a delay. I mean, if you're a businessman tomorrow, as fucking Mooch, one of his analogies, you come down, you sit down, and you sit with all the fucking people in the game, and you say, you know what? We're fucking delaying this game. It's not going to do well in the spot that it is. It's going to get eaten alive by those games.
Yeah.
And we could fix this game a little where we can make it a little faster, and we'll just sit pretty in fucking April.
Yeah.
Or March.
Yes.
Or March, because look, Titanfall 1 released in, I think, March of 2014.
Yes.
So why not release this one in March of 2017? Like, that to me would be the ideal thing to do, because look, that game's going to get swallowed. But unfortunately, I have a feeling if one of the games was going to be delayed, they would delay Battlefield.
No, Battlefield. I mean, if they come out, Battlefield's sitting pretty right now. It's going to be a battle. I mean, Call of Duty is still the reigning champ, but Battlefield might actually give it a run for its money sales-wise.
So that horse scene. Look, I don't like them old ass shooters.
Hey, shout out Aussie Gamer. I get it, bro. You're like, keep pushing this Titanfall thing. They changed it. They changed it. They did. I mean, they've tweaked some things, but I literally hopped off the Titanfall 2 beta to hop on Bgst. I've been playing it for most of the day. They haven't really changed enough. It's still the maps don't flow well. There's still all the camping issues. There's still the room issues. Like you have to join a network, and then the networks, and you have to back out of every map to restart another one. So I mean they can change it, but they're not going to be able to change the way the maps flow and how they're very geared towards camping and kind of a Call of Duty feel, you know. So it's not. It doesn't feel like Call of Duty, or I mean, it doesn't feel like Titanfall to me. So, I mean, you got a lot of bullshit going on in that game. They raised the level of bull. You know how like I call Call of Duty the bullshit game because you always go bullshit because you get killed by bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Right? Titanfall was never one of those things. Like, I can do good. Like I think the last map I did, I was like 20-9 or something, which is pretty good. So. But it's like, so it's easy, but I don't like playing it the way that I played it to get that score, which was me just hiding behind shit. You know what I mean? And popping and just camping and like being a douche. That's not a fun for me. You know, fun for me was running out there, getting in the battle and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like this game isn't that.
Well, there was this immersed war that you were in, right? So you would jump off of the top of a roof, hop on a friendly Titan, jump onto another roof, then jump onto an enemy Titan, and as you did that, like the shields, you had to work the shields down, then you can leave satchel charges, or you can keep shooting it down. But by then you could have the Titan either hit you with a counter, or the pilot could jump out and try to attack you. And there was just so much. Now you jump on a Titan, and basically if you jump on a Titan that's a friendly Titan, you are such a target. You're like waving to people like you're in a parade while you're walking around. You're like, I'm right here. Yeah. Here I am. And people just shoot you down. Or if you go on an enemy Titan, you pull the battery out, it throws you back, but the Titans all know to just turn around, and there you are. You're just dead meat. Like, it just, everything sucks. Like, Vince Zampello, somebody must have had a gun to your head and said, you have to have this done by October 2016 or we're going to, like, you know, you're off. Like, I don't understand why they rushed this. The maps are boring. It looks like a Call of Duty map now. Everything's like 2 level. It's not as high as it used to be. I know we haven't seen all the maps, but I'm not going to give you $60 after you already put a bad taste in our mouth. Sorry, buddy, I'm not. I'll see you in the vault. Like, I got to be honest with you. You know, I mean, your EA access is where I'm going to play the 10 days for free, and then I'm going to just wait till it's in the vault. Because, listen, now, guess what? EA doesn't give a shit because EA is going to get my $60 anyways. Before I was going to do it for Titanfall, and now I'm going to do it for Battlefield. I'm going to buy Battlefield and give it a chance because this is like a new era to give it a shot. I think I'm going to – Battlefield's definitely not going to be my cup of tea, but at least it's get on the ground floor and try to get in with a squad and learn the game. Titanfall 2 is just boring. We played it for, what, 2 hours the other night, crap? Shit was boring as all get out.
Yeah, like, we all got off. And you know what the funny thing is? We play with people who are Titanfall fans. And you know when people like She-Wolf and GKB are like, yeah, this game, I'm going to cancel my pre-order, right? Yeah. I mean, there was no more people. Those were 2 of the people that were the most excited for this game. And now they're like, I'm canceling my pre-order, or I'm going to play the 10-hour thing or whatever, you know what I mean? And I don't blame them. That's the best thing to do. That's what's good about being an Xbox person, especially with these games, is that people can, you know, you can play Battlefield 1, which the beta, I think open beta is like next week or something. Yeah. But you can play it first. Like, dude, I was playing Madden a week before other people on Xbox One, you know what I mean? Like, that's phenomenal. I love doing that. You know, they got so many good things with that vault and everything in there, and but yeah, like you, I just think that maybe it'll be a vault game. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, listen, you're not going to feel guilty. Crap, you're not going to feel guilty. Anyone that's thinking about passing, you're not going to feel guilty. It's coming out the end of October. You're either going to be immersed into, if you're an Xbox guy, you're going to be immersed into Gears and Gears multiplayer. You're going to be immersed into Forza Horizon 3. Then you've got Battlefield 1 coming out the first week or so. It
comes out eight days early on EA Access, I think, October.
And then you've got 13th. Call of Duty coming out with the Modern Warfare remaster. Like, you're not going to have... by the time you even think of remorse for not buying it, it'll already be February. Like, it doesn't matter. It really, Titanfall's already in a bad. If Titanfall 2 was awesome, like a must-buy, it still would get fucked by Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty.
You know what's funny though is they thought it was they thought it was so awesome. They're like, this is gonna sell. We're gonna put this out there and people are gonna love this game and we're gonna sell millions of copies. And now it's just like.
And here's a question: are any PlayStation Sony fans just like it? Are they in love with it?
I think there's performance issues on the PS4 version. I think the frame rate's dropping like they're dropping it like it's hot or something.
There's reports that the PlayStation 4 version was
I played
the low 40s. Yeah.
Okay, now here's the thing again. I know it's 900p on the PlayStation 4, right, and 720p.
Yeah.
You know, it's them.
Yeah, but they look the same. Like I went back from one to the other. It fucking looks the same.
You know what? Listen, in the case of the developers, what they did, Z, though, for Titanfall, it's like the old slogan: if it looks like shit and it smells like shit, it's probably shit. Like, this game looks like shit. So 900p, it looks like a little browner shit. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's over.
What I'm saying is you think is maybe Sony agenda, like with Call of Duty, to promote it as having a higher resolution.
I wonder who's going to have marketing for Titanfall.
Nobody. It looks like nobody.
Nobody, huh? Interesting.
That doesn't help them either any.
Hey, probably the reason is Microsoft has the Call of Duty or the Battlefield one. Sony has the Call of Duty rights, and you know
money to be had. They don't want to ante up on it.
Yep, I'm gonna get Titanfall 2 on the NX. I'm gonna wait.
Oh, we can swing it next week and get the hell out of here.
So we do all the headliners.
Yeah, we can close with this. Ain't really much to say about it. You guys read did you read it?
Yeah, I read it.
What's your thoughts? Talk to me. You're Nintendo.
Well, I mean, look, it's something different. I'm definitely gonna pick it up. Okay. Yeah, especially if it.
Should I just put my head down?
If they
have, gonna go on for an hour.
If they have an achievement system, man, I'm good. So
they don't.
I would hope they do.
They don't.
Well, they have one patented.
I hope they have an achievement.
I mean, we see patents all the time, though.
Nice.
You know, shit. Yeah. But here's the thing. Again, even if they're going this route, like an issue. I mean, I don't really care for Nintendo's exclusive, but not even that. They act like there's some struggling fucking indie fucking company 7P resolution. Like, you got cell phones that are fucking 1080p with 4K fucking display. Cell phones. Like, this shit is sheer lunacy, man. I can't get behind.
I will say I got to agree with you on that, Z. The one thing I do agree with you is they already deemed the Wii U a failure. Fine. So you listen. What do you always say? Like, when you fall, you get back up. But when you get back up, you don't fall in the same exact spot. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes. So what Z's saying is, since the Wii U failed, you should at least come out and at the minimum be 1080p. I mean, if these rumors are true that the screen resolution is 720p.
Well, for the handheld part, it could still output. They say once it's docked or whatever.
Okay. Well, even a handheld, you got cell phones that got 1080p displays.
Yeah, but I don't think it matters. Like when you're playing with stuff that it's a small thing. I mean, I don't.
I think it has a chance to be 8K. To be honest.
I'm just happy for something different. I would totally not buy it if it was just them putting out a powerful console.
You like Nintendo, I know.
Yeah, I do like Nintendo. I
got a spot in my heart for Nintendo. I mean, I grew up playing those. I mean, do I play it now? No.
And their fans really aren't. They're not. They're different. They're nicer.
You got that eye, man. That's what you do when you're.
Let's be real here. Who wouldn't that fucking Zelda tech demo that they would bring? And again, we all know that wasn't on fucking Wii U's hardware. That Zelda tech demo. Like, who doesn't want a big, beautiful world? Like, graphics are fucking important power.
Well, the one they showed at E3, that was running off the Wii U.
Oh, man, have you seen the goddamn game with those specs, with those type of visuals on the Wii U?
Yeah, well, no, people played it. I mean, you could queue it up. It was like the longest queue at E3. Apparently.
It was a play. I'm talking about that Zelda tech demo when they showed the Wii U. When he was fighting that big fucking spider.
Yeah, that was a tech demo.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
that goes along the same kind of lines as what Sony did in 2005 with that shit.
Well, they don't make it any better, but I'm just saying, I thought I was getting some shit like that when I bought that motherfucker in 2012. But like I said, I'm Nintendo. I'm gonna sit this one out, man. More power to you, man. I guess crap. I'm gonna be the only one with the Neo. You're gonna be the only one with the NX.
Yeah, but I mean, look, it's not like it's not like I do much with like the Nintendo. Like again, to me, there's less and less reason to own multiple consoles now because there's less and less exclusives coming out.
The marketplace.
Yeah, it's like honestly, like you hit the nail on the head years ago. Next gen, you're like you're gonna play all your stuff on Xbox. You're an Xbox dude, and it's like I would tell you the same thing. You're gonna buy the Neo, but you're never gonna fucking play it. You know?
Yeah, because
you shouldn't get the Neo. Just wait for Scorpio.
Just wait.
No, I mean, I do like that.
Get the better 4K. Put that money for
It ain't for that. I'm just saying I like God of War. I'm a God of War fanboy.
Yeah, but it ain't coming out till 2019.
2018 or something.
Wait till it comes out.
I'm fucked up financially, suffering from fucking throat cancer in 2019.
But you gotta wait till that game comes out. You don't play. You don't like anything else. You don't like the baseball game.
No,
I can understand the baseball.
Horizon Zero Dawn looks dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just dope on the PS4, man. It'll be just.
Throw 400.
What'd you say? What?
That's another. Yeah, it's not. Why throw 400 down for that game? That game's not going to be a game that you're going to be talking about for very long.
No, it's not that. I traded in my PS4. I got 200 for it.
Yeah, go get another one used.
Oh, no, I ain't
did you guys hear this news a little before we go off this Nintendo boring shit? Forza Horizon dev Playground looks like this is gonna be the last game in this genre, and they're gonna be they're expanding, so they're getting bigger, and they're coming out with a different genre game next after Forza Horizon.
So no more Horizon?
I have a feeling there'll be another Horizon.
Wait,
it could be from another developer. Yeah, it looks like they're going into. It's just came out. There was a news thing. You probably read more about it. They expanded, and they're I tweeted it. They're going to a different genre. I don't know what
Microsoft own them or no?
Yeah,
no. They're second party.
They're second party, but they're going to be doing
okay, so Smile's probably Forza Horizon then.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean they still have Forza Horizon, but you think about it, Forza Horizon basically has done everything now. I mean, you can do a different location, but that developer, I assume it's going to be an open world game. And I assume the expanding is probably going to be a core of developers that do a different kind of gameplay. So I mean, I do think that you're going to see an open world game that maybe you can get out, and maybe you could do. Maybe it's a sandbox. I don't know, but they're a fucking unbelievable developer, and I'm excited for that. I think Forza Horizon 3 is going to be a fucking gorgeous hit, and I'm all on board for what. Their next thing. I don't think it's going to be a racing game though.
I still think that they'll do Horizon 4. I just think that they alternate back and forth. Why would they not do the next one?
Well, that's what they're saying. It's going to be a different genre. I'll find.
Yeah, I mean their next game could be that. I'm saying, but if they're expanding. Well, they're expanding. They could do two. They could have two. Like Turn 10 helps them anyway with that game.
They work together, which is great. You know, I mean, Turn 10 really is handling the Forza Horizon. Like I think they handle the whole thing. That the Forza series next year, I do believe there's going to be a different. I don't know what kind of Forza game is, but
Oh, it's going to be Forza 7, man. What's going to be like
Forza 7?
Thing, yeah.
I think it's going to be a 4K and 60.
4K 60.
And believe me, if that's a launch game, 4K 60, that's going to be some fucking crow to eat, man.
Hey, they could have that on their VR thing.
That's going to be too. Yeah, it could be VR too. I mean, a Drive Club is in PSVR and it's definitely dumbed down, but doesn't look horrible. Looks actually better for that game, but they would have had to dumb it down to get 60 frames on that shit.
Oh yeah. I thought it was 120.
No, it has to be a minimum of 60.
Yeah, they don't do full 1080p each eye either. It's like
it's like
900 whatever 1080.
Yeah. What was that one dude that you brought in that podcast, Mooch, who like gushed all about VR and shit. He said how blurry PlayStation VR is though.
Yeah, it's a little blurry, and Jez actually kind of said that. Jez Gordon said that he put on a picture.
Yeah.
No, JKB, he likes the VR experience, but he definitely said it goes Vive, Oculus, PSVR.
I agree with him. The Vive looks like the coolest headset. Looks like I've heard the motion control. Jeffrey Grubb has said the motion control. The motion control on it is the best. Oculus is second, and supposedly the motion control on PS4 is garbage. So you're getting a low. And that's just people saying that. It's just the way they do it, the way they handle, the way they do the technology. They're using old technology. PlayStation is. They're using light.
They're using dildos from the.
They're using PS4 Move, so you're gonna have slow latency. You're not gonna have one-to-one as they say, or definitely closer on Vive. But I heard the motion control and the controller on Vive is a lot cooler and to handle. It's like something.
Well, I thought the Oculus had the most support.
Out of the gate it does, but it looks like Vive looks like the best.
Vive, people want to work on the best, so Vive actually has the most developers working on that right now.
It's not like a hit that everyone expected it to be. When this first came out, everyone was like,
I told that to Mooch all the time. I'm like, look, VR's out. Like,
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of things. Kids can't use it. Older gamers aren't going to use it. They're not going to want that thing on their head. You basically have a 20 to 30-year range that people might really be into it. But look, like I don't want to wear a thing on my head and fucking play dodgeball with my head on a fucking.
That looks like people sick. Like,
come on, I'd be fucking after a minute. I'd be like, get me the fuck out of here. All right.
Well, what do you guys?
The ride's over.
Like, Sony's holding their own, like they're trying to be like Apple, right? They're holding this at this event, and supposedly they might even announce another handheld, a couple of different PlayStations and shit like that. So,
it's confusing only to nobody.
I don't think
what's that?
It's not confusing.
Yeah, that's not confusing. I did a video about that too, like the media baffled by PlayStation or by Xbox One S and Scorpio announcements. Completely understands PlayStation Neo. Completely understands what PlayStation Neo. They had a moment.
They had a moment. They had a moment.
Yeah.
Epiphany. They had an epiphany.
I love how bad. Like, I would love to see. Like, you remember that Game Informer podcast, right? Where they're like, I'm confused.
Yeah. I don't really know what's going on.
What's going on?
This thing's a failure. Let me tell you, it's a failure. Meanwhile,
Microsoft just had the worst E3 because I'm confused. So I think it'll be funny, to see what. Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be funny as hell.
I'm sorry. Well, I guess that's about it. We got everything.
We did a good show tonight. Good guys. Good show. Good fans.
Thank you, man. It was rough. I was the only black guy here.
We try to bring a lot of topics.
My hearing addiction is getting the best of me. But anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for rocking out with us on the BGST. I'm about to go watch my black soap operas, Powers. Great show. And we'll catch you guys next week. Wednesday, Xbox Nation. Friday, Crossfire. And we out of here, man. And
I false finished twice now.